Libra, if relationship issues have been sitting heavy on your heart, this message is for you. Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome to your April monthly tarot reading. If you're new to the channel, welcome to Universal Wisdom Tarot. And if you're returning, thank you so much for being here. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss your spiritual guidance. This month brings emotional breakthroughs, boundary setting, and bold forward movement. Face it head on and watch your life transform. Stay tuned, my friends, and I'll see you on the flip side. Hey there, beautiful Libra souls. Welcome back to the channel. This is your April monthly general intuitive tarot reading. And as always, take the messages that only resonate for you and leave the rest. I have already asked for blessings, so let's begin. Let's see what is going on for you, Libra. Okay, main messages. You have the Ace of Wands, you have the Five of Swords, you have the Lover's card, you have the Knight of Wands. At the bottom of the deck is the Two of Cups. This is the theme of your month, or the overarching energy. And your overarching energy of the Two of Cups, my friends, really feels like there is a relationship that's on your mind this month. Okay. Or now, okay, let's just step back. Relationships come in many forms. They can be, I don't know, they can be like love. They can be like love relationships. Sometimes they're like friends. Sometimes they're like family relationships. Sometimes they're business relationships. This could be related to any and all of the above, right? Maybe you have several relationships that are on your mind. Now, whatever your situation might be, I kind of feel like there are relationship issues sort of front and center, and addressing these problems right away means that your connection gets better or gets deeper if you resolve the issues in this month lickety split. So the advice that they keep giving me here is you need to deal with it. All right. So deal with it, get it done, and you know, resolve that relationship, resolve that whatever it might be, like friendship, business, you know, love relationship, what have you, you know, a parent child, whatever type of relationship this might be for you. Okay, so let's get into the details of that, because you have the Ace of Wands clarified by the Sun and the Six of Cups. So I feel like, you know, you start the month feeling very, you know, open, very heart-centered, right? And you have this Ace of Wands, so you're having a spark of passion here, a lot of excitement. Or inspiration. You're feeling very good about that with that Sun card. And, you know, something feels like it's lit up for you. Okay. With the sun, there's a lot of joy. There's a lot of clarity and a lot of optimism. All right. So, whatever this connection is, the situation at least starts in the month as being a very warm and positive situation. Okay. That, it feels like there's a very honest relationship there, very, feeling very positive as opposed to being a draining negative type of, relationship or situation. Now, um, if you're single, okay, I'm going to put this out there that this week, in the first week, if you are single and you're looking for love, that would be an excellent time to put yourself onto the dating scene. All right. So that's the first thing. Because I do feel you can express your needs uh, a lot better at the beginning, obviously, than you might in the second week. There's some stuff here in the second week. The third week, again, looks great. The fourth week looks great as well. But there's a bit of a sort of a glitch here in the second week of the month. So this is what I'm going to say. If you're going to put yourself out there, do it in the first week. And then, the latter half of the month starts to really light up for you and look good. All right. So put yourself out there. If you are already in a relationship that is a love relationship, then I feel you're dealing with sort of getting rid of something where you're feeling like a doormat. I have to put that out there for somebody because they feel like there is no equity with your loved ones. Okay. So either everything is being put on you or, it's not fair, it's not equal, what have you. Okay. There is a bit of a nostalgic tone here relating to this, in that it could be someone from the past who's re-entering your life. It could be a familiar situation that you've dealt with. It could be that in the past things were more fair and equal and it wasn't all you. And this is what you're trying to restore in that relationship, is the equity between you, right? You don't want to be a doormat. You don't want to be the one who's taking all the work. You want it to be a little bit more fair. So if this is your relationship issue, whether that is, like I said, say you're a parent and you have a child and your child is not pulling, doing what clean their room or, do their laundry or what have you, you need to resolve that, deal with it and resolve it. Okay. And then things can go back to the sort of the normal, or back to that more harmonious type of situation. All right. Now, it could be also somebody from your past is coming back into your life, and that's the relationship that you need to deal with. Okay. So again, take it how it resonates. Everybody's situation is different. Now, we do get into the second week of the Five of Swords, clarified by the Devil and the Seven of Wands. So this is interesting energy because there is tension here. All right. There's tension in this second week. So, with the Five of Swords, this often indicates conflict, right? Or it indicates a power struggle or a situation where somebody's trying to win at all cost. Okay. Or you're trying to win at the expense of the harmony that you may have had. That's why I said this week is the glitchy week here. Okay. So if you have a decent relationship of some sort and things aren't fair, you don't have to always win every argument. There has to be some kind of negotiation between you, right? Negotiation doesn't mean that you win everything you want. It means you need to give up some things, the things that are not important. Okay. So you have to really truly understand with the Five of Swords, what it's saying is you can't win every fight, every battle. You have to know which battles you can win and which battles you'll never win, and which battles are worth winning and which ones really aren't. So not everything is a priority one. You have to decide, okay, I'll let priority 3 go. The one that's most important is this, and that's the thing I'm going to fight for, and that's the thing I'm going to stand up for with this Seven of Wands. That is where your courage of conviction is going to come into play. The Devil here is going to be saying to you, no, I want to win everything and I want everything my way. Well, that's very unrealistic. Okay, Libra? You are the balance, right? You are the scales in the zodiac sign. So you want things to be equal, clearly. Okay. And that's probably why this imbalance that's occurred in this relationship needs to be addressed, because it feels very foreign to you when it's not balanced. I don't feel you're somebody who knows that they need to win everything, because you do understand the concept of balancing things out. All right. So, yeah, so long story short, definitely something there that, something needs to go as, or something needs to be, let's say, not a priority, in order to be able to understand which battles to fight and which ones not to, or you won't win. Okay, so certainly, uh, a situation of, you know, you won't let peace and harmony be the price of having to win everything. Okay, let me put it that way. Devil is an unhealthy energy, right? It's a pattern sometimes, or an attachment, or control, or it's repeating old cycles. So, you can't keep repeating the old cycles. You won't be able to control everything. You need to realize that that there is something here that you cannot have it, that way. All right. I do feel like it's a bit of a temptation for somebody out there, or there's an obsession, or there's a dynamic where the ego is taking over instead of the mutual respect in this relationship. Okay. So, Seven of Wands says, stand your ground, but you have to stand your ground for the right thing. Okay. And you have to stand your ground because you would like respect, and you're going to respect the other person equally, not just because this is all, ego related. All right. So at the end of the day, like this breakdown in the relationship that I'm feeling is really, I'm going to say, about boundaries, my friends, right? So you do need to defend your values and your space, and, your emotional well-being and your feelings and what have you, but not every battle is worth fighting, right? So I would just suggest that, there is an element of self-respect here, which is non-negotiable, but you also need to realize that the other person's self-respect must be taken into consideration as well. So I feel like something might, in the second week, might bring out some aggression, an aggressive nature. So I would just say there's nothing wrong in inserting yourself, okay? But just try to keep the combative nature of it down to a minimum. Okay? Because you don't want to break out into huge fights. That's, what I'm trying to get to here for you. All right, so now we get into the Lover's card, clarified by the Ten of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel that whatever you've dealt it with it. Okay, you things start out great. You have this thing, you deal with it by the latter half of the month, because there is a bit of a power shift here. I feel like the Lovers is finally, you get back to a much more harmonious love relationship. Okay. And I don't mean love in terms of necessarily that it's with a love partner, but you're back to being in a more harmonious relationship, period. In other words, you could be more harmonious with your business partner. You're more harmonious with your children. You're more harmonious with your family. You're more harmonious with your neighbors. You're more harmonious with your friends. Okay. So at the end of the day, there could be that. Now, if your situation is that you're having this situation with your love partner, okay, then I would say to you, yeah, this is definitely about romance. The romance comes back in this week. I feel like there's a strong focus now on understanding what this relationship is, what it can be, what its potential is, okay? And I feel like you might want to spend more time together for the two of you. Maybe you want to book a trip and rekindle some sparks. That might be your situation. I'm feeling that for somebody very particularly. It is an ideal week for, I would say, for initiating partnerships, okay? Both romantic and business, okay? It's because the Ten of Pentacles is about long-term stability, right? It's about commitment. And so is the Lover's card. For me as a reader, when I see the Lover's card, it means you've committed to something or someone, okay? And you're building a future together, okay? So, you know, you're putting effort into it with this 8, you're putting dedication into it, right? And there's a willingness to work on something much more consistently by this period in the month. So, you know, you're committing deeply to some kind of partnership, relationship, what have you, and you're choosing to invest your energy where it truly matters, all right? Get to the final week of the month. Knight of Wands clarified by the Ace of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. I feel like that night brings a lot of action, brings a lot of courage, and a lot of following your passion here. So I would, you know, also for me as a reader, sometimes the Knight of Wands is about travel, okay? So as I said, if you're going to book something to sort of re-spark it, you might do that and actually travel in the last week of the month. You may actually book it in the last week of the month, or in the last week of the month, you might be thinking about it for the, you know, future months. All right. So I would just say that, you know, I feel there's a possibility here for some kind of romantic journey or trip or something. But it could just be for your own health and well-being to book this, right? Maybe get away for a bit so that there, you know, you have fresh energy to deal with all the relationships in your life. All right. Definitely an opportunity there to get out into the world and broaden your horizons in, you know, some unexpected ways, right? So I just say, if that's your case, keep your passport handy nearby, right? Just in case you want to go at the last minute. The Ace of Pentacles really says this is a new beginning for you, right? Or a new beginning period in this month, in this situation. There could be a new offer for somebody there, but I really feel this is much more about relationships in general and not necessarily just business relationships, but there is definitely some kind of offer there at that Ace of Pentacles. So it could be a new investment for somebody, or an opportunity that has some kind of potential to grow. And that could be this relationship in general has the potential to grow. So I say you kind of come through this, whatever, this situation, this relationship, whatever, in a far more collaborative type of situation, okay? Or a decision is sort of made earlier in the month, which, you know, sorts itself out by the time you get to the end of the month, all right? Three of Wands says expansion, right? Looking ahead, looking to the future. You're no longer stuck in any indecision. You really are planning to move forward, and you're opening yourself up here in terms of this, you know, dealing with whoever this person is in your life. Right, Libra, let me pull for you an oracle card. Let's see if the Oracle of the Fairies wants to tell you. What message would you like to add to this reading for Libra for the month of April? You have inner child. Let me read to you. It says, the fairies of playfulness remind you to make time to embrace your inner child. Playing keeps us young at heart. Do something silly and fun, but stay safe. You know, that's not bad advice as it relates to if you're having relationship issues, is to be more playful, right? I think that's great advice from the Oracle of the Fairies. So that's it for today, my friends. I'll see you again soon. Until then, please know I am, as always, wishing you divine light and love.